a productive start to your day today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that today. I also pray that He clothes us in His armor from head to toe, that He strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout this day. That being said, we're going to get into the morning mantra, and then we'll just go from there. I hope you're having good weather in your area today. It's turned out to be a breezy but sunshiny kind of day in my area. All right, our mantra for the day. I can spend my day feeling daunted, or I can spend it climbing over the thing that's daunting me. If I'm gonna spend, it might as well be a good investment. So it looks like, what is that plant? A Venus flytrap and a ladybug. The dogs are up and moving around this morning, so if you do hear them in the background, please excuse the distractions. Today is Thursday, May 15th, 2025, and it is 8:58 a.m. local time. We're going to get a grief affirmation. All right, so we can spend our day feeling daunted, or we can spend it climbing over what is making us feel daunted. So pros and cons, you know, make a good investment with your time. Spend your time wisely. Don't let those daunting things steal your joy for the day. My grief matters is the grief affirmation we got this morning. Your grief does matter. Even if that's only to your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High. Don't forget to thank them this morning that you woke up. You know, we say it here often, not everybody wakes up. So that in itself is something to be grateful for. All right, now we're going to get a chakra wisdom affirmation, and then we'll light our incense and we'll get into the rest of the affirmations. Grand Rising, happy Thursday. I hope you're having a good day so far today. Tennessee. I'm in Tennessee. All right. It's been kind of a slow morning for me this morning. All right, we got crown chakra, 7th chakra, one with all. Crown chakra, I want to say that's frankincense. I'm pretty sure. Shout out to Elegant Expressions, aromatherapy. Those are the incense that I use. But as I say often, you know, I have learned that that is not the only brand that has the chakra incense. There's all kinds of different companies that have them. I don't necessarily know if they're the same fragrance as these are, but they are out there. All right. I feel the divine force flowing through me. I honor this, and I know that it flows through all. I am calm in knowing that I am one with all, and I contemplate and meditate on this fact. I regularly remind myself that we are all from the same source, and that we are all on a journey as spiritual beings experiencing this physical existence. I'm aware that I have a choice as to how I respond to what is happening in my life. My responses have an enormous effect on my spiritual, mental, and emotional and physical well-being. So that very much lines up with the morning mantra of the day. I can spend my day feeling daunted, or I can spend it climbing over the thing that is daunting me. So knowing that this too shall pass, I am sweating already today. That is not a good sign. Let me take this sweater off before we go any further because I am sweating already. All right. Now we'll get a wild offering oracle affirmation. So 7th chakra, crown chakra, that is represented by the lotus with 1,000 petals, also represented by the color violet. Your crown chakra is at the top of your head. The flow of energy moves in a clockwise direction and connects to the spiritual body. Regulates the pineal gland, skull, and brain. Associated with grace, beauty, serenity, oneness with all, which is the one that we got today. Our divinity, selfless realization, understanding, and enlightenment. Personal areas of growth, mental health, knowledge, and spiritual enlightenment. For our affirmation, we got striving. Eventually, the individual ego's drive to make things happen falls away, replaced with the relaxed, trusting openness to answers as they arise. Thank you, Divine, for letting me move with the flow. So, whatever is daunting, don't let that stop you from going with the flow. We got empowerment on the bottom of the deck. India. Oh, hello. And then on the top of the deck, make it God's. Release the idea of my as soon as you start to say the money, the relationship, the job, freedom arrives. When there's no grasping, the right actions get shown. Free me from the prison of my. Confirmation. And then empowerment. When you ask the divine to take over, you get pulled into your own authentic power. It's a force of inner love that wants your wholeness and magnificence. Unfold my true and radiant self, dear Lord. So just like with the other day, a lot of emphasis on your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, the Most High. The ultimate self-sufficiency is relying on God, the Most High, however you view the creator of this life. All right. And I did get some new cards. I have been looking for a deck of United States flashcards forever. And so we're actually going to pull one from these today. It gives like educational facts about each individual state. So we're going to pull one of these today and have an educational moment. It's always good to try to learn something new each day if you can. We don't always have to seek that out. A lot of times it just comes to us. Different facts and knowledge that we can add to our filing cabinet in our brain. All right. Right off the top of the deck, Missouri is what's on top, and then Kentucky is what came out. Missouri, and we're going to take that one because it's the one that was on top. The capital of Missouri is Jefferson City. Its nickname is the Show Me State. Ooh, show me, show me, show me. The state bird is the bluebird. The flower is the white hawthorn blossom. Quick fact, the ice cream cone was invented at the St. Louis World's Fair in 1904. I didn't know that. So 1904 is when the ice cream cone was invented in the state of Missouri. Who knew? I didn't know that. So there we go. We've learned something new today. All right. I haven't been putting the cards away from the last pull. I know I'm really bad about that. I got to get better at that. Our wild offering oracles that we got for the last pull were self-acceptance, body, and clarity. It's nice to have the state cards. I had been looking for a deck for a while. They're basically student cards is what they are, but just to be able to include, you know, an educational moment in the videos. So I'm really thankful that I was able to find those. The color green. Green is associated with the heart chakra. And while we're talking, well, let me finish the affirmations first before I jump into the oracles. All right, we'll get an affirmation card from the Affirmators deck. Missouri. I actually just met somebody a couple days ago that lives in Missouri. That's interesting how that kind of lined up. All right, so I can spend my day feeling daunted, or I can spend it climbing over the thing that's daunting me. My grief matters. One with all. Striving. We got magic. It's a rabbit jumping out of a hat, holding a rabbit jumping out of a hat. We got love on the bottom of the deck. We just saw that a few days ago. And divine timing on the top of the deck. I believe in magic. I see evidence of it all the time. And though the tricks can possibly be explained away by something sensible and ordinary, I'd rather not ruin the fun. Other people can fill their days with mere coincidence. I fill mine with, holy crap, that's unbelievable. Okay, so believing in the magic that surrounds us, but also knowing the difference between true spiritual magic and illusion. If you know, you know. All right, and then we got divine timing. Everything is timing, and timing is everything. Gladly, I release my concern over timing and let things happen when and as they will. I trust the divine to schedule makers. No, I trust that the divine schedule makers know what they're doing. It can take a long time to reach divine middle management. So knowing that the divine is always with us, that very much connects with the pool we did the other day. You know, even if we don't see what's going on in the background, knowing that divine timing is at play always. Last time we got options from the Affirmators deck. All right, now we will get a Chakra Wisdom Oracle. We got Crown Chakra with our affirmations. We'll see if they line up. Last time we got Creation. So seeing the magic that surrounds us in the everyday things. Not allowing, you know, the troubles of this life to steal the magic that's really out there. Being one with all, you know, knowing that we are all part of this experience. Our angels, ancestors, spirit guides. All right. Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Striving to be more aware of the magic that surrounds us every day. That is too many. Oh, only one flipped over. Mysticism. Also the color purple. So lining up with our chakra affirmation. I think we've gotten this one before. Mysticism. Yeah, we have. A woman named Aubergine. You are not to know. Ooh, mysticism. All right, the legend. A woman named Aubergine calls on the telephone to confirm that she will be with us tonight. Yet no woman named Aubergine has been invited. Of the 4 invited, 2 are wed and 2 are unknown to each other, a woman and a man. Surely, if this mysterious woman were the guest of the man, she would have made it known. A woman approaches the woman named Aubergine, the woman who will be with us tonight. The inspiration. It is wise to be the observer. Do not respond until you are certain. The unknown is not easy, but it is no longer necessary to fear. So, not the fear of the unknown is a fear that we all experience, but not letting that fear take over. Personal inquiry. Am I ignoring my intuition? What I suspect is probably true. I must breathe. Key ideas: ignoring signs, unknown motivation, intuitive knowing, fear of the unknown, and journey. Keywords: intuition, courage, and uncharted. Uncharted territory, uncharted waters, stepping out into unknown territory. Trusting in divine timing, trusting that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides will give you that intuitive nudge that you need. But as we talk so often, remembering to make time to quiet your mind so that you can observe and understand those little nudges that you're getting. We talk about it here often. If you don't take the time to slow down and find that quiet place, a lot of times we miss those internal messages that we get just because we're not paying attention. Okay, now we're going to pull from the Wandering Heart Oracle. The last video, we've only pulled from this twice. Last time we got 18, Evil Eye. We got Out of Sight on the bottom of the deck as we're starting. Finding empowerment so that you can climb over whatever's daunting you. Going back to our morning mantra, I can spend my day feeling daunted, or I can spend it climbing over the thing that's daunting me. Accomplishing that will offer empowerment. It will help you feel better about yourself. Whatever obstacle it is you're trying to overcome, whether it's procrastination, whether it's, a job situation, whatever it is, striving to overcome that. All right. The Wandering Heart Oracle. We won't keep these, but we'll acknowledge them. Honeymoon, silver lining, and familiarity. Number 12, 7, and 30. We just want one. Maybe the thing that's daunting you is your grief. A lot of us struggle to overcome grief. Neglect, number 20, is what came out. It's a girl in a purple dress, also connecting back to the crown chakra. She's playing with a dollhouse. Very much connecting with the wisdom oracle, the chakra oracle that we got with the purple, wearing the purple dress. All right, let's see. Neglect. Don't neglect yourself. Don't neglect your grief. Distracted and seclusion. Here you feel abandoned. You are doubtful of your significance. You've lost track of your everyday pursuits due to the funk you are in. It feels as if everyone's life is moving at a steady upward pace and you aren't being considered or included. In the upright, which is how we got it, you make amends with your inner child. You remember her for who she is, or he, and you apologize for not considering his or her feelings more often. You comprehend that every feeling has a root, and every root must be discovered for total wellness. You take the necessary steps to improve your overall health. Do not allow bitterness to overcome you. Don't let your grief lead you to bitterness. Knowing that we can overcome anything, but we have to empower ourselves. Don't base your worth on other people. Find your own worth. Invest in your own worth. Strengthen your connection with the divine, which will also help to make you more aware of your self-worth. All right, now we'll go with the angel numbers and the celestial insights. Embracing your inner child, loving on your inner child. You know, kind of going back to one of our videos last week where we're talking about being creative and, you know, doing things, even just simple things that can bring out your inner child. We got 1155 on the bottom as we're starting with the angel numbers. Reminding yourself that you're one with the universe, that even if you feel neglected by people here, you're never neglected by the Most High. Your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, they're always there. It is a different kind of relationship. I struggled with it for a long time because it's just not the same. You don't get that physical interaction that a lot of us really long for. I can spend my day feeling daunted, or I can spend it climbing over the thing that daunts me. So don't neglect your grief. Don't try it. Hello, hi. Don't try to pretend that it doesn't exist. Don't ignore your inner child. Those little things that we want to do that we don't do because, you know, either because of time or making time to do that, but also, you know, because we're afraid of how people are going to look at us or what people are going to think about it. Don't worry so much about what other people think. It doesn't do. The outside world, it's a sad truth, but it is the truth. The people that we encounter day to day, most of the time, not necessarily in a negative way, but they really don't care. They're living their own lives. They don't care about the work. I shouldn't say that they don't care. It's just not a priority to them because they're working on themselves just like we're working on ourselves. A self journey. All right, let's get an angel number. That is way too many. Just one would be good. A whole chunk fell out, but 77 is what flipped over. Awakening, enlightenment, breakthroughs, success, epiphanies, spiritual strength, and transformation. We got 1551 on the bottom of the deck. Keep your dream. And then 22 opportunities on the top of the deck. Awakening. You are undergoing a profound spiritual awakening that will lead towards, what is that? That will lead towards a path of success, epiphanies, and breakthroughs in all aspects of your life. In what area of my life am I experiencing spiritual growth? And how can I harness this awakening to achieve success and breakthrough? Reflect on recent insights or revelations you've had and consider how you can apply these to create positive changes and breakthroughs in your life. So very much lining up with the daily mantra. You can sit and feel daunted. Hello. Yes, I take spirit with me everywhere I go. We can feel daunted and let it get us down, but it's better to strive to push through that so that we can awaken to divine timing, to mysticism, to empowerment, so that you can awaken to all those things. Enlightenment, breakthroughs, success, epiphanies, spiritual growth, and transformation. Awakening to the connection that you have with spirit. The lining up, going back to the crown chakra affirmation, one with all. Knowing that breakthroughs come in all shapes and sizes. What may be a breakthrough for me may not be a big deal to you. But we all have areas in our lives where we need and want to grow, where we're striving to grow and heal and awaken, to what this world, especially what the spirit world has to offer. Don't neglect your healing journey. Don't neglect yourself in order to do for others. There's a fine line there between, overgiving. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're not taking care of you, you're not going to be very empowered to take care of other people, or to share your story, or to share your knowledge, whatever that is. If I'm going to spend, it might as well be a good investment. So yeah, that's way too many. True love and clarity wanted to show itself. Invest in yourself. Invest in what makes you happy. Invest in what empowers you. We got surrender. Yeah. Sometimes letting go brings the greatest change. Are you feeling out of control? Surrender to the flow and trust in the universe's plan. Peace will come when you release your grip. That very much lines up with the affirmations that we got. Surrender to the divine. If you're going through a time of grief, surrender to that grief, feel that grief, acknowledge that grief so that you can overcome it. Know that the divine is always in control. For us, a lot of times that sense of control is an illusion. We we can control our actions, our words, and somewhat of our feelings, but as far as what happens on a bigger scale, we don't really have any control over that. True love ended up on the bottom of the deck. It showed itself, and then there it is again. True love is the deep soul connection. Are you searching for it? Trust that it's out there, but remember to love yourself first. True love will flow naturally. What did I just get through saying? Loving yourself so that you can share that love with others. And then we got yes on the top of the deck. Yes, the answer to your question is yes. Have you been hesitant about a decision? The universe is giving you a clear sign to move forward and trust this path. Very much lining up with striving. You know, take your ego out of the situation and know that divine timing is at play. Don't forget about, we did see the magic card in our affirmations. Magic is all around us. Sometimes it's an illusion, and sometimes it's divine timing at play. Knowing the difference between reality and illusion. Don't get caught up in the illusion. You know, being smart enough to see the difference between reality and illusion. That kind of goes back to what we were just talking about with the control. You know, a lot of times it's an illusion of control. We just don't realize that. Okay, I didn't tell you this before. Last time with the celestial insights, we got trust, accept, and hope. Let me put these back in here before we go any further. A lot of times, that true love that we're seeking, really it's within us. You know, the way that we love other people, a lot of times that's love that we should be giving to ourselves as well. Not to say that we can't share it with others, but it's important to give that same love to yourself. And a lot of times we don't do that. We don't do that at all. We give all of our energy to others, and then we're left wanting. All right, now we'll get an Angel of Abundance card. Last time we got Quiet Retreat, Unlimited Ideas, and Visualize Abundance in all forms. Maybe even awakening to the fact that you need to love yourself better. Awakening to the fact that sometimes we need to surrender that love to ourselves, to be in accepting the love from the spirit realm, seeing all those little signs and synchronicities. You know, we talk about that a lot on this channel. All right, Angel of Abundance. A lot of purple out here this morning. Wow, Visualize Abundance in all forms came back out. And Declutter came out. Release resentments about money on the bottom of the deck. And look at that, Unlimited Ideas on top of the deck. So 2 of the 3 cards that we got last time showed themselves again. Wow, that's crazy that came back out. Visualize abundance in all forms. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful. healthful, positive, and filled with blessings. And that is what you will experience. So when you feel daunted, that manifestation, laws of attraction, visualizing where you want to go, what you want to do, what you want to bring into your life, appreciating the blessings that you already have, embracing the power that you truly have. A lot of us don't do that. We feel like the power is out of our hands, like it's out of our control. And it really is to a point, but we talked about this in the last video because, of course, we got this card in the last video. Our thoughts project out into the world. And whatever energy we put out, that's what's going to come back to us. So overcoming that feeling of feeling daunted and feeling like, things aren't happening, even if we don't see it happening, knowing that, divine timing is at play. The magic of the universe is at play. And then we got declutter. We've talked about this a lot in the past, especially with it being this time of year. It's springtime, spring cleaning, out with the old, in with the new type thing. You'll feel better and more focused if you'll take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need your items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. Remember how I said I just recently met somebody that lives in Missouri? We were talking about that the other day, about how, if you're in a disorganized space, it can very much mean that your mind is going to be disorganized as well. Having a clean, comfortable space so that you can organize your thoughts. All right, now we'll get a Namaste Stress Less card. Last time we got self-love affirmations. Don't neglect your chores. If you are dealing with grief, if you're feeling daunted, overwhelmed, strive to overcome that. No matter what those chores are, don't get me wrong. I know chores suck, but they don't just end, when we grow up. If nothing else, that list gets longer. Dishes, laundry, I saw a video yesterday, that a woman was talking about it. Cleansing your space in general. Whether that's doing laundry, doing dishes, getting rid of stuff. Also, mopping your floors and cleaning your walls, that kind of thing, dusting, knowing that will also cleanse the energy in your home. Opening the windows, letting the sunshine in, opening the doors, letting fresh air in, refreshing your energy, especially if you spend a lot of time inside. A lot of people use, sage, Palo Santo, all those kind of things. And yes, those do help. But in reality, just letting the sunshine in. Oh, what am I hearing? I'm hearing, who is that? Soul Shine. I don't remember who sings that. Allman Brothers. If you've never, I'm not going to play it because for whatever reason, I always get copyright, even if I don't let the whole song play. So, Allman Brothers Soul Shine. If you haven't heard that song, please go listen to it. That's a really good song. The Allman Brothers is an older group, but they have some great music. They also sing the song Whipping Post. Observe your world. Practice being present and observing the world around you throughout your day. Notice the leaves changing colors, the sunrise or sunset as you commute, the shifting light in your office as the clouds come and go, and the taste, texture, and color of each meal. Try to stay off your phone or tablet when you are on the bus between classes or in the evening before bed. Instead, notice the things and people around you. The opportunity to enjoy your world exists in every place and moment when we choose to be present and eliminate thoughts or worries of the past and future. Practicing this presence promotes continuous peace of mind. So being in the present, also going back to our morning mantra, you know, that feeling of feeling daunted. I mean, we all go through that, but putting down your phone, putting down your worries, putting down the stresses that replaying over and over and over. What have I got to do? Where have I got to go? Da, 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 da. We talk about it here a lot. We never take time to slow down and just appreciate the beauty around us. The sunshine, even the rain, you know, the relaxation that can come upon you when a big storm comes. You know, we just had one here the other day. A lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, the wind was blowing. And during those times, okay, you know, don't open your door if the rain's going to blow in, but opening your windows, going and sitting out on the porch or in your yard or whatever, and spending time in the simple beauties of this world. A lot of times, just doing that, just taking, 30 minutes to an hour before bed to turn off your phone, turn off the TV, just kind of shut everything down and enjoy where you're at in your life. I know that's difficult, especially, if you're grieving. It can be very hard for us to turn our mind off, to stop worrying, to stop stressing, to let go of the control. But if we can acknowledge and see the magic that's all around us and know that divine timing is always at play, it does make it a little bit easier. I don't know why, but that's kind of choking me up a little bit. Don't neglect those little needs that you have. Self-love, self-care, self-empowerment, loving on yourself, not waiting to receive that love from other people. I know it's a different kind of love. A lot of times we crave that physical connection because it's different than the love that we give ourselves. But a lot of times when we give in to that, it can have a negative effect. I mean, now, of course, if you've got a partner, that's different. If you are, married or in a relationship or even have children, doing that together, embracing the beauty that's all around us together, knowing that having that kind of love in your life is a form of abundance. All right. Now we'll get an Animal Allies card. Last time we got a hummingbird. Been seeing a lot of hummingbird stuff since we got that. Several videos popped up on my feed about hummingbirds. hawk on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Mysticism. I don't know why I keep being drawn back to look at that card. That, for me, very much lines up with the magic card in the affirmations. Mysticism, the mysticism of this world, the magic of the world that surrounds us, that so many of us miss. I can spend my day feeling daunted, or I can spend it climbing over the thing that's daunting me. So whatever that mountain is that you're facing, striving to push forward. And in some cases, striving to slow down. You know, it's not a race. We all end up at the final destination is the same for all of us. You know, we're all going to pass away. It's not a competition, it's not a race. Don't feel daunted, don't feel like you have to compete with other people. Loving yourself, investing in yourself instead of neglecting yourself. Especially for people that have children, you know, we have a tendency to do that. You know, we neglect ourselves in order to spend more time with our children. But knowing that you can do it all together, you know, passing those good habits down to your children. Robin. Who is that, 2? That's 2. And Ostrich. So we got 2 today. Robin and Ostrich. All right. Ostrich superpowers. Authority, deflecting negative vibes, staying grounded, speediness, ability to carry heavy loads. Ostrich wisdom. Take time to recharge your spirit, and you'll have more energy to contribute to your highest good. Spending time in nature and away from the news cycle is a solid place to start. So going back to what we got in the Namaste deck, turning off your phone, turning off the news, spending time outside. When Ostrich appears, ramp up your self-care. Bam. Bam. That's what the neglect talked about. Loving on ourselves, caring about ourselves. Don't focus on what doesn't serve your highest good. Listen to inner alarm bells, however faint they may be, and take care to avoid things that set them off. Ostrich wants you to know you are not alone. Look at that. Bam. You are not responsible for holding up the whole world. You get to choose what and to whom you devote your precious energy. Wow. Awakening to the fact that it's up to you who you give your time and energy to. And the most important is to make sure that you give it to yourself. All right, and then we got Robin. Robin superpowers, offering protection from storms, reinvention, releasing grudges, optimism, confidence, sharing stories and history. Robin wisdom, another new beginning, a fresh personal spring is always on its way. Mysteriously, it comes faster if you find productive things to do while awaiting its arrival. Sometimes there's hidden growth and opportunities in the in between. So, in the waiting, declutter, visualize abundance, share love and energy while you're waiting. When Robin appears, prepare to begin a new chapter in your story. Note the things you'd like to change and look for new ways of seeing, doing, and being. Are you the main character in your own life? If not, why not? Robin wants you to know the world is filled with spectacular wonders, including you. Your wishes can come true. Make sure you are wishing well. Wishing well. That's a song also. Who sings that? That'll be the second song that's come up today. Your love is like a wishing well. Kiss and tell. I think that's Prince. No, that is not Prince.
I'm going on a trip to New York City and I need a hotel that gets my skincare routine. On TripAdvisor, I can easily filter for what I need.
Terrence Trent D'Arby. I wish I could let it play without getting copyright, but I can't. So, very much, that message very much aligns with the affirmations that we got with the magic and the divine timing. Observe your world. Appreciating the magic that surrounds us each and every day. Let's look at that again. It does talk about spring. We did talk about that. It is spring, out with the old, in with the new. Talks about new chapters. The world is filled with spectacular wonders, including you. Your wishes can come true. Make sure you are wishing well. So, as we're going into this new season, what do we want to, very much going back to the declutter that we got earlier and the visualize abundance in all forms. Take time to think about what we want to let go, what we want to bring with us, what we want to invite in. Striving to clear our mind, get our mind right, awaken to the changes that we want to make. All right, now we will get, we'll get a animal spirit card. Last time we got snake, elephant, and lion. I gotta get a drink. I'm starting to burp and hiccup, so I'm going to take that as a confirmation. Pause, random thought. I started using a new coffee creamer the other day because, one of the changes that I'm trying to make in my life is eliminating foods or things that I consume that have a lot of different chemicals in them. And I realized that my coffee creamer had a lot of, just like random chemicals in it. So I got a new kind of coffee creamer. It's called Wide Awake. It's got an owl on the front of the bottle, but it's just milk and cream. There's not, I guess if you get a flavored one, like the caramel one I got, it said that it has natural flavors, which, from the research I've done, when it says natural flavors, it's not really natural. It's a chemical form of the flavor. But like the sweet cream, it doesn't have any chemicals in it. It's just milk and cream. It's a little different, but it's still good. So if you haven't tried that, I want to, you don't necessarily have to get that brand, but I want to encourage anybody who's trying to make that change in their life. Sometimes it can be overwhelming and we really don't know where to start, but just start with small changes. A lot of people will just when they start making, especially to their diet, they'll just start throwing food out that they don't want to eat. Don't do that. Donate that food to somebody that or, to a food bank or to a church or something. Because I promise, when people are so hungry that they're starving, they don't care if the food has chemicals in it or not. You know what I mean? But anyways, just a little food for thought. All right, now we'll get animal spirit. Fish, stingray, and black egg is what fell out. We got deer on the bottom of the deck and oyster on the top of the deck. Black egg is a spirit card. And then stingray and fish, those are both water energy. We'll read black egg first. All right. Speaking from an authentic voice, the truth. The black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in, books draw us in. The concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? And what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, and repeat stories to justify our superb behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment, in every situation. It is the epicenter of truth, the birthplace of our voice. The black egg and the fifth chakra. The subtle essence of this card resides at the base of the throat. The ancient sages saw this center as the hub that governs our speech and expression. The balance of this center is important for all of us, but is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. So it's connected to the throat chakra, which is represented by the color blue. It's right here, at the base of your neck. If you put your fingers right here, like while you're talking, you can feel your voice box vibrating. That would be your throat chakra. All right, fish. Relentless change of focus, lost in the current. The fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement, and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Wow, this is so lining up. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. When in balance, adaptable travels well, When out of balance, distracted, and changes your mind off. To bring into balance, set a small goal and accomplish it. You know, we talk about that here a lot, setting smaller goals to accomplish a bigger goal. But that also talks about spending time outside. You know, and I saw a video yesterday where it was, I can't remember what they call them. I think a fish staircase. That was very interesting. I'm not going to really go into that too much, but just interesting that we got the fish card today and I saw that video yesterday. Little synchronicities like that intrigue me. All right, and then we got stingray. Wow, interesting. Stingray and fish are right next to each other in the book. Developing confidence, sense of self, or spine. The stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. Wow, very much lining up with our angel number 77 awakening. The moment has come when the stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Didn't we already talk about the fear of the unknown? We did already talk about that. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again, as the force of Dharma growing within the stingray is too strong to ignore. When in balance, eager and wants to grow. When out of balance, blames others and quits. To bring into balance, move through the discomfort. So push through the pain. Push through that fear. Don't push yourself out of your comfort zone. Don't let the fear of the unknown prevent you from having new experiences. Find your inner power. Going back to the empowerment affirmation that we got already. All right. And another thing, I got out my letter cards yesterday when I got the state cards. So we will pull from the letter cards today. All right, now we'll get herbology card. Last time we got hibiscus and poppy, joy and dream. Feels like it's going to be a very humid day today. I can't believe I'm sweating already. And I guess we have some really nasty weather coming in. Really, I mention him from time to time on the channel, so I'll mention him today. Max Velocity here on YouTube. That's the weather guy that I watch. Teacher fell out while I was shuffling. He does weather for the whole United States. And over these next, well, I guess the rest of this week, there's going to be some really nasty weather going on. I think most of it is on the east side, but I think what's coming is coming across. So, you know, try to keep up with, as Max says, be weather aware. Whether you watch him or somebody else, you know, be aware of the weather. Better to be prepared, you know, and nothing happen than to not be prepared and something happen in your area. So go check him out if you can. If not, you know, just watch your local weather. I think Friday is when, in my area, when we're going to get hit. I think Wisconsin is getting hit today. Okay. I can spend my day feeling daunted or I can spend it climbing over the thing that's daunting me. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Metamorphosis. We've gotten this before. The woman on the card is naked, so I can't show the card. Well, I guess I can just cover her up. But see, it's got the picture of what looks like a woman's uterus and fallopian tubes and stuff. We've gotten this before. Card number 7. PAUDARCO. Let me see if I can. We'll pull that up real quick. And I really wish I could play those songs because they are good songs. PAUD. There. It popped up. Of course, a commercial.
$1 down, $15 a month.
For today, let's learn how to pronounce the name of this plant or this tree, better known in English as the pink trumpet tree.
Pink trumpet.
And that's a name from South America, Central America, and Mexico, also Argentina. The Spanish pronunciation, pau, yes, the U is pronounced like an U.
Pau.
Pau d'arco. Pau d'arco.
Pau d'arco.
In English, it's rather simply pronounced as Pau d'arco.
Pau d'arco.
Here are more videos on how to pronounce
Also
them.
known as the pink trumpet. Pau d'arco, or the pink trumpet. Okay, dang, I showed it anyways, didn't I? Right, discovery through darkness, transcendence of the known, unearthing fear, non-conforming, breaking cycles. Pink Pau d'arco, commonly known as pink trumpet, is one of the most beautiful trees on earth. With over 100 varieties, this tree has been used medicinally among many tribal peoples throughout Central and South America. Most commonly, the inner lining of the bark was boiled for a long period of time. I'm going to put that card down because I'm not used to not being able to show the cards. She is naked in that card. Then consumed as a dark coffee-like tea. Pau d'arco has many medicinal qualities that fall under the moon and Pluto's dominion, such as being a blood tonic and a daily tonic for strength, and also being employed for digestive imbalances, menstrual irregularities, malaria, anemia, colds, flu, fungal infections, respiratory problems, arthritis, cancer, and a lot more. The Incas and other groups predating them were known to use Pau d'arco as a panacea. Tribes living thousands of miles apart have employed it for the same medicinal purposes for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Many tribes used its wood to make hunting bows, utensils, and all sorts of tools, believing that it provided great blessings of strength and resilience. Guidance. Lapaco is one of the great protectors of the sacred. And I guess that's the woman in the card. And she is welcoming you in. Pau d'arco embodies one of the faces of the dark goddess in her mighty splendor. The dark goddess is multifaceted, challenging belief systems, frailties, weaknesses, and testing our strength. Like Pluto, it demands you rebel against the ignorance of the old self and learn paradigms that inhibit the splendor of your self expression. Her mighty darkness provides the tools to rebuild ourselves anew, triggering instant metamorphosis. Wow. Don't fear the unknown nature of mystery. The cosmic womb, in its darkness, births all hidden potentials into existence. Trust and step in. You are being guided. Wow. So, very much lining up with the animal spirit cards, the bird allies cards. Do not fear the unknown. Do not let the fear of the unknown stop you from stepping into this new chapter. Also, lining up with our angel number of awakening, awakening to the magic and the divine timing that surrounds us. Wow. That very Pau Darko, also known as the pink trumpet. All right, now we'll get a crystal mineral card. Then we'll pull from the Archangel of Fire, the Archangel Fire deck. Understanding that you are supported. Oh wow, it was a 1:11:41 on the timer when I looked. Surrender what has been. Surrender to this journey. Surrender to awakening to this new chapter, this new season. There's a gnat. I consider those monitoring spirits, but mysticism, finding, appreciating the mysticism. All right. Garnet. That's a very dark stone. Vitality, passion, and love. Garnet is the only common clear gemstone that you can pick up with a magnet. Let's look that up. Garnet. Garnets are associated with a wide range of spiritual meaning, often linked to passion, vitality, and grounding energy. They are also believed to offer protection, healing, and support in various areas of life. Linked to the root chakra for grounding and self-empowerment. Look at that. We got empowerment. We already talked about spending time in nature and getting grounded. Protection, love and passion, grounding and stability, confidence and courage, and healing. Having the confidence to push through the fear of the unknown, the fear of loss, and stepping out in faith, having faith in the spirit realm, having faith that you've made the right decisions, visualizing abundance, vitality, passion, and love. We did get true love in our celestial insights. Finding what you're passionate about. letting that passion lead you, awakening to your passion, you know, we've talked about it a lot this morning, taking time for yourself to see where you want to go. Practice being present and observing the world around you throughout your day. So being aware of the many blessings, the many obstacles, and taking the time to navigate through those. You know, don't neglect your path. You know, don't go a certain direction just because somebody tells you to go that way. You know, decide for yourself which way you want to go. All right, now we will get, last time we got amethyst in the stones. All right, now we will get Archangel of Fire. It was 1:15:55 on the timer when I looked. It is 10:12 real time in my area. All right, last time we got Azrael. Sometimes the true love that we're seeking is within us. Remembering that. Remember the magic that you carry within your own soul, within your own spirit, within your own life. Don't neglect that. Say yes to yourself. Say yes to this new chapter. Say yes to empowerment. Say yes to divine timing and the magic that surrounds you. Appreciate the mysticism. You know, appreciate what this world has to offer from nature, from spirit. A lot of grounding energy today. We got a lot of water energy out here too. Water represents emotions. You know, maybe taking a bath, a spiritual bath. I don't know if it's quite warm enough to go swimming. The water's probably, at least in my area, the water's probably still pretty cold. All right. Surrender to spirit. Surrender to the unknown. Don't let the fear of the unknown stop you from stepping out. Awakening to the relationship that you have with spirit, embracing that. Uriel, number 6. Salvation. Uriel's name means fire of God or flame of God, as the vibrant firefly and plums coming from his palms in the image of him as a gentle Balinese man on the card suggests. Plume, not plum. He's holding a book. Uriel is the keeper of the flame of divine love. He teaches us the path of salvation, helps purify our hearts and release lower energies, such as guilt and anger, which may cloud our judgment. Call upon Uriel to help resolve arguments and bring forgiveness and healing into tense situations. He can help you start afresh and let go of hurts and grudges. Also known as the angel of earth, Uriel watches over our planet and the elements. He is the supreme counselor and one of the wisest of the archangels. So you can ask him to assist whenever you have an interview or an exam, or if you need the answer to a difficult question. He'll sharpen your senses so the answers you are seeking pop into your head. Very much lining up with our mantra. All right, general message: let go of anger and unforgiveness and let my flame of love illuminate your heart. I can help free you from emotional pain. If you do not know the right words to say, call upon me and I will speak through your heart. You can become the essence of Uriel by being a compassionate and forgiving human being. Sometimes we may hold unforgiveness within our subconscious, where we are not aware of it. Do this process to help bring up any stuck emotions so you can heal and forgive yourself and others. Connect to your physical body and call upon Archangel Uriel. Tune into your body and see if you can sense any lower vibrations or feelings. Do you sense guilt, shame, or unforgiveness within you? Wherever you hold lower emotions within the body, connect to the area now and ask Uriel to bring in his firefly of freedom. Do the process above when you need help to release trapped emotions with regards to a person or situation so it may be healed. Forgiveness does not excuse bad behavior, but it will set you free from torment so you can move forward with grace. So we did get surrender, and neglect. Don't neglect those feelings. We talk about it often, feelings need to be felt. If we don't feel them, if we don't process them, they build up inside of us. And a lot of times we don't even realize it. We talked about it the other day. A lot of those negative emotions we store in our lower chakras, first, second, and third chakra. It can cause a lot of times we don't realize that those emotions do have 122.11 on the timer. Those emotions have a physical effect on our bodies, just like stress or anything else. The more we carry those emotions with us, the more they can affect us. Especially the more negative emotions, when we store them in our lower chakras, it can cause a lot of stomach, gastrointestinal issues. With women, it can cause a lot of problems like with our cycles and, uterus and all that stuff. So take the time, make the time to do that inner work. Go out in nature if you can. Connect with your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High to help you process those emotions, to help you understand them and let them go. I can spend my day feeling daunted, or I can spend it climbing over the thing that's daunting me. So, we could spend time, neglecting that and allowing it to continue to affect our lives, or we can take the time to process them and let them go. Observe your world. Observe the mysticism. Observe our inner world. Our bodies, our temple in itself is a whole, what's the word I'm looking for? Not atmosphere, but wow. Poof. It's a whole world of its own. If you really learn about the human body and how intricate and, complicated it can be, it can take a whole lifetime just to understand the connection between our internal and the spirit realm. Just like with astrology, it's not atmosphere. What is the word that I'm looking for? Why can't I think of that? Astrology, atmosphere, environment. Hopefully you get what I'm saying. Confirmation. All right, now we'll get a Mary Magdalene oracle. Last time we got ascension, very much lining up with the awakening that we got in our angel numbers. We got silence on the bottom of the deck as we're starting. So surrender, surrender to spirit. Don't neglect that relationship. Observe the world around you. Be aware of not only the world around you, but how you interact with the world around you. Knowing that we are all one with all. Remembering to visualize, taking the time to think about where you want to go in this chapter. Decluttering your mind, your heart, your emotions. Don't neglect those things. All right. Your grief does matter, but strive to push through that grief. Don't let that grief, don't stay grounded in the grief, if that makes sense. Don't stay grounded in the grief. Surrender to it, yes. Feel it, yes, but then let it go. Give it to the divine. Resurrection. Resurrect in this life. The ego dies and the soul rises. That's a field of lavender in that picture. Once again, purple, lining up with the crown chakra. Our crown chakra is where we connect with spirit. All right, page 62. The ego dies and the soul rises. The Gospel of Philip is an ancient Christian scripture that was excluded in the formation of the Bible, along with the Gospels of Mary Magdalene and Thomas, as well as the Acts of Paul and Thesia, among others. It contains a very different understanding of what it means to resurrect than the more literal, traditional Christian interpretation of it. Resurrection in the Gospel of Philip, and according to the ancient Christians, is something that happens ideally all throughout our lives. We talk about it here often: death and rebirth. Rebirth, resurrection. The Gospel of Philip explains, quote, "You must awaken while in this body, for everything exists in it. Resurrect in this life," end quote. The Christians of the first century, or the Christ movement, practiced kenosis, self-emptying love, which releases all attachment to the powers of the ego that have us caged in some form of fear or self-doubt. We let the ego die so the soul can rise. This way, the soul can evolve right here in the human body. The myth of the phoenix always comes to mind with the word resurrection. It's the myth of a magical bird that endures an endless cycle of burning up in flames and then emerging reborn from the ashes. Resurrection here is not about what comes in the next life. Resurrection is about what we can practice right now in this body, in this life. We can awaken to the potential of transformation with every tragedy or disappointment or loss in life, and see everything that happens as a chance for the soul to rise. We can see each death we go through as a chance to resurrect more entirely present to this soul of love within us that survives every fire. Die to what the ego tells you that you have to do, or what you have to be, or who you should have loved, or who you should have left. Die to the ego telling you you're not good enough, You're not worthy enough. You're not right for this vision you had long ago for your life. Die to the ego telling you it's too late. You're too old or too young to live straight from your heart. Die to the voice of the ego and let the soul resurrect you even louder. The soul voice meditation. What egoic thought can I let go of in this moment? So, letting go of the old, embracing the new, understanding that we all go through multiple deaths and rebirths throughout this life. Embrace it, find the empowerment within it, trusting in the divine timing, not letting other people's opinions, perspectives about your life affect the path that you take. Decluttering the discouragement. A lot of time it talked about the fear of the unknown. We've seen that multiple times today. Don't let fear discourage you from taking a path that you want to take, that you feel like you're supposed to take. Don't be discouraged. All right, and now just as a little way to end it, I did get my letters deck out the other day, so we'll pull a few from that and then we'll be done. I hope everybody has a positive, productive, peaceful day today. No matter where your journey takes you, know that you are loved, you are valued, and you are not alone. I don't really say it very often, but I will say it. If you ever watch any of my videos and you need somebody to talk to, I'm always here. You can there's a link in my bio on my channel, on my page, that links you to my Facebook. But it won't be too much longer until I'm going to start a connection line where you guys will be able to communicate with me over the phone. Because I know a lot of times people just need somebody to talk to. They just need some guidance or advice or support or, inspiration or, sometimes that's all we need is somebody to listen. So it won't be long until that happens. I've already got the phone and I've already got the service, but I think I'm going to have to call and change my location with the service because I don't get, when I call from my main phone to the secondary phone, the call doesn't go through. So I'm working on getting that fixed, and then I will have the contact line, the communication line that I'll open up. All right. It's been a while since we've done the letters. It's been a hot minute. So we learned something new today. The first ice cream cone was made. Oh, you're going to fall. It was 1:33:23 on the timer when that happened. We did get the Missouri card today, and we learned that the first ice cream cone was invented at the World's Fair in 1904. All right, we got PR and FR. PR, public relations. Every time I see the FR, I think of front row. PF. PF and R. Laura Ingalls Wilder wrote the Little House books while she was living on Rocky Ridge Farm in Mansfield, Missouri. We got a blank. Samuel Clemens, alias Mark Twain, was born in Hannibal, Missouri. All right, we got YT. I always think of YouTube when I see that, but front page news. I don't know why I'm seeing Firefly. It is Firefly season. They will be coming out soon. Missouri's nickname is the Show Me State. The bird is the bluebird. The flower is the white hawthorn blossom. All right, we got I and another P. VM. SE, Southeast, ME, and JE. I don't know why. Miss Priss. So, you know, be a little prissy. It is the weekend, you know, maybe dress up and be a little prissy. I don't know why. I don't know. Southeast. The southeast is what's we're fixing to get hit with a lot of bad weather. Jeep. I fell on the floor. FB, Facebook. So we got YouTube and Facebook out here. YT, FB, SN. South Node. You got North Node and South Node. SIP. SIS. SIS. It's been a long time since we've done this. It feels weird, kind of. Ooh, CK. Oh, what's that song? Kiss the rain whenever you need me. I don't know who sings that. Kiss the rain. Under the same sky. Oh, wow. There for a second, I thought that was thunder. M.O. Motown. FF. French fries. All right, they keep falling on the floor. PD. Police department. Public displays of affection. ET. Extraterrestrial. Entertainment Tonight. FT. OV. Over. Finish him. What is that? Mortal Kombat. Finish him. Vice. Letting go of vices. Surrendering vices. We do have Kiss out here. Prince. Music. Listen to some music today. If you're not a big music person, you can go on my community page. I share a lot of music there. Maybe try to listen to some new kinds of music, you know, stuff that you don't typically listen to. Case, like Case Knives, LE. The movie Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise. If you've never seen that movie, that's a really good movie. Vanilla Sky. Joy. Joy will come in the morning. FaceTime. I've never done FaceTime. I know that that's like a video chat thing. Pipe dreams. I don't know why I'm seeing pipe dreams. Memo. Somebody didn't get the memo. CF. Closed caption television. You know, having the captions on. The name Paul. The name Sam. The name Seth. Vicky. Mom. T and A. And TR. Sun and moon. I love you to the moon and back. Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. That's a song. I don't know who sings that, but I have heard that song before. Justice. Jokes. Find the humor in life. Mask. Let your mask fall. Don't, kind of going back to the pool that we've already done. Don't feel the need to wear a mask to make other people happy. Don't neglect who you really are just to make other people happy. Throw that mask away. Find awakening to who you really are, you know, despite other people's opinions or other people's impact on your life, awakening to who you really are. Loving yourself just the way you are. We got TA again. KZ. Casey and JoJo. That's an old group. We do have May out here. It is the month of May. Meow. Kitty cats. Atlanta. Fried pies. Pie in the sky. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. I don't know who sings that either. I'm really bad at knowing the names of the groups. I think that's the Beatles. Vimeo. I don't use Vimeo, but I think that is like a form of, you know, like Cash App type thing. Sing a song. Who is that? Is that the Carpenters? Yeah, a lot of music. I do get songs very often, but I'm getting a lot today. So something about music. I've been trying to listen to more of a variety of music here lately. I see Money as well. YD, yard sale. Maybe that could be something that you do this weekend, is go yard sailing if that's something that you enjoy doing. It is that time of year where people are going to start having yard sales again. Although with all the bad weather that's coming through, I don't really know, but AT&T, I've never used AT&T. Tow, like a tow truck. I'm going to stop pulling now and just look at what we got. Jesus is out here. It's been a long time since I've done this. I feel like I'm kind of off my game a little bit. Clean. Going back to what we talked about earlier with the declutter, cleaning your space, spring cleaning, cleaning out not only your physical, but your like your external, but your internal. All right. Really, I could do this all day long. Mop. We did talk about mopping floors earlier, cleaning your space. Towels, doing laundry. Ritz, like Ritz crackers. Ooh, yeah. Ritz crackers have a lot of chemicals in them. I like Ritz crackers, but that goes back to what I talked about earlier, like with the coffee creamer and the chemicals and stuff. When and if you can, trying to eliminate those out of your diet. I realize that for most people, just being realistic about it, you're not going to be able to get rid of all of them, but just start small, make little changes, everything, it all adds up, it all counts. Cake. I did make a cake for my birthday. Sing. We're gonna flowers. Go pick some flowers. Observe the world around you. Go pick you some flowers. Love on yourself a little bit. I realize that may not be like a guy thing, but if you are a dude, go pick your lady some flowers. Pick your mom some flowers. Believe it or not, most women, I won't even say most, a lot of women would much rather have a bouquet of wildflowers that you stopped and picked on the side of the road than a bouquet of flowers that you went to the store and bought. I know that's how I am. There's a lot of women out there that are like that. So if you're a woman and you don't have a man in your life, go pick you some flowers. If you're a man and you like flowers, go pick you some flowers. If you're a dude that has a woman in your life, when you're on your way home from work and you see that big old side of the highway just littered with wildflowers, pull over and pick your lady some. Make sure you shake the bugs off if you can. Most girls don't like bugs. Friends, value your friends. Embrace them. That give and take of a friendship, empower them so they can power you. Reciprocation is very important. If you have friendships where there isn't any reciprocation, maybe surrendering those friendships to the divine, letting them go. Tower. Try to embrace the tower moments. Full-time, part-time, spending, we do have time out here, time, giving yourself time. That very much goes back with what we've gotten all week. cast your cares to the divine. I'm gonna leave it at that. Cast your fears away. Going back to what we pulled earlier, cast that fear of the unknown. Just cast it away. Try to use that energy for something more productive. All right, that felt kind of weird doing that. It really has been a long time since I've pulled from those. So sorry if there was an awkward energy around it, but we'll get more back into it. It'll get more comfortable as I do it more often. As always, be grateful for what you have. The big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, but you could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it could have on yours. Also, I just want to put this out there. In the past, I haven't done a lot of just like random scrolling on YouTube. I have specific things that I watch and look for. But here in like the last week, I've been spending a lot of time kind of scrolling. So, and I've noticed that a lot of people just like put on a live and just like live their life with the live going. So if you come across my videos and that's something, that you might be interested in doing here, there's all kinds of different things that we can talk about that, we can dive deeper on. So if that's something that you might be interested in, I think I might just do it randomly for a day or two and just see how it goes, because I've noticed that there's a lot of people that do that. And I mean, don't get me wrong, my life really isn't that exciting, but I'm at home most of the time. And so there's not really any reason why on most days I couldn't do it. So I don't know, that might be something that I experiment with and, just try it out and see how it goes. Thank you for making it this far in the video. If you're still with me, it's not very often that I get a lot of viewers at one time. So I appreciate anybody that makes it to the end. We are all on this journey together. And, at least for me, hasn't always been an easy journey. And so I try to share my knowledge and, my journey with others in the hopes that it might be able, to help somebody else. So that being said, I'm going to leave it there. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.